W.
Yeah, I don't know why the W's on there.
Should be D-O-U.
Randow. Yeah, I mean the Dow
Randow.
Corporation.
D-O-E. Dow.
Yeah. It's Randow, though.
It's Randow.
Yeah.
Doe. D-O-E. What's up, buddy?
Not much.
How's married life treating you?
Oh, it's interesting. Super busy. Leading up to the wedding, it was kind of like fairy tale land. Now it's back to real life.
That's right. So how's the marriage going? Good?
The marriage is excellent.
There you go. Perfect. Well, how long have you been with us?
Coming up on a year now, but I haven't really been full-time since January.
January you went full-time?
Yeah, like actually diving into this thing.
Because you did some other stuff too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And now this is your deal.
This is it.
This is it. And how many families did you help last month?
30.
Nice. Is that your biggest month?
That is my biggest month.
Okay. And what was your biggest month prior to that?
21-ish.
21-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was there any adjustments made from the 21 month to the 30 month?
Absolutely. Consistency.
Okay. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Consistency was key for getting that number to where it needed to be with Families Helped. So before, I would always struggle to have a steady work schedule, right? And what I did last month is I decided I was going to work 6 days every week. And that was not negotiable.
6. So what were you working prior to?
3.5.
Okay. And dude, like, I think a lot of people struggle with that.
It's real hard to come into a business when you've been a W-2 employee and have to structure your own life, because it's real easy when you don't have a boss telling you to be somewhere.
Right.
It's real easy to say, oh, I'll just go do my doctor's appointment today or this or that, rather than scheduling as if you had a regular job.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's the magic. That's the rub. And people always wonder, like, what is the secret? It's not a secret. It's just, can you make that decision to commit to being accountable to your schedule, right? So what, because you knew, right, prior to the 30 month, you knew what you should be doing, right? I mean, seriously, It's like we all know what we should do.
Absolutely. Everyone tells you 30 appointments and do this and do that. And I really had to make a commitment to myself and, more importantly, to my family, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just got married, but, we want a certain type of life for ourselves, and we want to be able to do certain types of things, that I had to make the commitment to myself and to my family.
Okay. And then fill them in so they understand what you're working for. All that stuff is important.
Yeah. And just getting my wife around people in the business, so that way she didn't think I was just off,
gallivanting.
Yeah.
Well, and when the money starts coming in, it changes too.
It does, absolutely.
That always usually, it's like you ever been to a basketball game where, like, team's hot and the crowd's going nuts, and then the other team comes down and drains like a 3, and they shut them. It's a crowd quieter. That's what it does. It quiets the crowd. So 30 appointments, 30 families helped. How many appointments a week are you running?
I'm trying to keep it at 30, but if I don't meet that number, I've jumped way outside of my comfort zone, and I'm not afraid to knock on people's doors.
So you've been door knocking.
I have.
You also been dabbling in telesales.
Yes.
Okay. How and I think it's just it's going to get easier for you moving forward, because once you figure it out, it's like rolling that boulder up a hill.
Right.
Once you get to the top and then crest that peak, it's rolling downhill. That's how this business is. Once you figure it out, it's rolling downhill. It operates on itself. All you have to do is show up. That's it. So how many, like, break down what your schedule, like a weekly or a normal weekly schedule looks like for you, incorporating your door knocks, your telesales, and everything.
Okay. So weekly, I would say Monday morning, I start with following up with people, things that I did, people need payments changed, whatever. So admin stuff Monday morning, and then I start dialing as soon as possible, and I'll set my schedule for Tuesday. Now, if I get to the point in the day on Monday where I don't have enough, then I'll just go through my pile of leads, and then I'll put door knocks in there. And I do that again Wednesday, and I do that again Friday. So I dial Monday, Wednesday, Friday, run Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Okay. And so that's one of the ways folks do it here. The other way is they dial Monday, run Tuesday, Wednesday, dial Thursday, run Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Right. Now, have you tried that schedule?
I have not, because I haven't had my lead flow correct yet.
Got it.
I just got to get more leads coming in.
Okay. And that's a big deal because you have to have enough people to talk to set 2 full days worth of appointments.
Yes.
Right. Now you've been using a dialer system recently, right? How is that working?
Oh, it's amazing. It's a game changer. I would recommend anybody that doesn't have it, get it. It's $100 a month, and it will cut your dial days down by a quarter if you want it to. So essentially, it's just a dialing system, and you sit there with your headphones on, kind of like we are right now.
Right.
And when someone answers the phone, it just goes beep, and you say, "Hey, Mary," and it's doing all the work in the background for you. So it takes the animosity out of, sometimes when you look at a lead card, you'll see the person's age or where they live, and you're just like, it takes all that out of there because all of a sudden they're on the phone and you have no choice but to just talk to them.
Well, and it's because we used to, when, printed out our leads, I would write stuff on the lead like this guy was a jerk or, hung up on me or, few choice words. And then if I couldn't set them, I'd give them to Jamie. But if I wouldn't just give them to her, like I'd have those leads for a month and a half. And then I would go through the sheet and I'd see it, right? So then immediately when I read my own notes, oh, this guy's mean.
Right.
Then my mindset's instantly jacked, right? With a dialer system, they're just in there. And then it beeps and somebody says hello and their name pops up. You don't have a chance to screw your mindset up, right?
No, you just have the same mindset with every call at that point because like you said, I write notes down too. And sometimes if I get to a piece of paper when I'm hand dialing and I've already called them 22 times, I'm like, they're not going to pick up. And if I think like that, they're not going to pick up. And when they do, I'm going to be caught off guard.
Right. And you're almost going to try not to set the appointment because that's what we do too.
Right.
And like if I'm calling from a cell phone, you can make 25 to 30 dials an hour max.
Right.
From the dialer system, you can make what? 200, 300, 400?
400 probably.
Jiminy no problem. Christmas. So, dude, I would just buy data, phone numbers and names and put them in a system. You could literally call people all day and go, when they pick up, I go, Will, do you want to buy life insurance today? Right. I mean, it's just a numbers game at that point.
Right.
And that's all sales is. I think we've gotten away from the grind aspect of the business. Now you've been around as all this stuff was kind of, the economy's not as good as it was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. The FTC shut the numbers thing down and gas prices, everything's just a little different. Right.
Right.
But back in the day it was the same thing. Like when we didn't have a dialer system, we dialed, but we would dial from, 8 a.m. till 9 o'clock at night. You don't have to do that, but we got away from that just grind to get to where you want to get to because it became so easy with the mortgage mailers and final. Like it was easy, right? I mean, you saw it. You had some for a small period of time.
Yeah, I mean, you get 10 mortgage mailers and your day's set. You don't have to worry about it. You can run 6 appointments that day at
least.
Yep,
at least, and the other 4 that you didn't set will set the next day or the following, right? Yep. It's just you give me 20 mortgage mailers, I'm setting 20 appointments. That's how I feel. And so, but we can't get them, and now it's the internet leads. And what do you call them? What's your lead flow look like?
Right now I have final expense mailers coming in, and then I've been dipping into the CRM, and also there's a couple other lead sources out there as well.
Okay,
like Age Lead Store.
Okay,
in particular,
sure,
super cheap. You can do exactly what you said. Just buy a couple thousand of them, load them in there, and when someone answers, say, "Hey, did you take care of your life insurance yet?"
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
It's that simple,
and the profitability is stupid.
Yeah, it is. It takes a $1,500 lead bill and cuts it down to $300 if you're doing it. You know what I mean?
Oh my Lord! So this is what's exciting because I think now because when FFL started, like we had no leads, and then we found a lead vendor, but they could only produce so many leads. So then we were capped. We kept hiring people, going like, we can help you make money, but I mean, the reality of it was we didn't have enough leads. Now, there were people that just made it happen and old leads and stuff like that, but we couldn't generate enough to keep people moving the way they wanted to move. Now, without a shadow of a doubt, we could probably have 100,000 agents. Like, that's crazy to me.
Absolutely. And then the cool thing about a dialer system is you can teach anyone anywhere how to do it. And also, if they need help, you can travel with your dialer system. So,
right.
Before, when I would try to hire someone that was far away, it's really hard to teach them how to run mailers.
Sure.
Right? Unless you go there and you run with them for a couple of days, and then you lose, your momentum personally that you have going. Now with call tools, you can literally just get on a Zoom meeting, and it's just as easy as watching it.
No doubt about it. And you can also listen to them when they're dialing.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. So you can coach them up, which is a big deal. Again, it makes people feel like they're not alone. And that's to me, the biggest struggle for a lot of folks is this is a lonely business. If you don't know what you're doing, you feel like you need to see it. This just gives you the ability to go, hey, just hop on and listen to me. Because that's all. And y'all read a script, right? You've closed telesales before.
Yeah. Yep.
Are you just reading a script?
Pretty much. I mean, you divert from script depending on what happens, but it's just straight line closing. You know what I mean? You start at the beginning, then you walk them down a straight line until you get to the end, and you ask for the order. Essentially, you don't want to let them get you too far off the line, but it's okay to divert a little bit and build a little bit of rapport. But you just want to kind of keep them going right down that line to where you get to the close.
How confident are you that if someone got their license today, came in the office tomorrow, sat with you, and used the dialer system, and you uploaded, 500 of your old leads into there, if they read that script, how confident are you that they'd make sales?
They would make at least one sale, not spending a dime out of their own pocket.
Wow.
Just with an old lead.
Okay. So you're building now, right?
Yes.
You're recruiting?
Yeah.
What is your goal where do you want to be at by the time this year wraps up? We're in August.
Oh, I've been speaking into the universe. I want to be at 500 grand, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I think realistically, maybe 150, but I'm going to shoot super high because you never know what's going to happen if you keep working.
Yeah. I mean, you never know who you're going to come across. Right. I mean, Andrew Taylor hired Dave Witcher. Dave Witcher went from 0 to $1 million in 12 months.
That's absurd.
It is absurd. So if you find somebody like that, and then you could get to 500. It's just, how do we get there? What's the activity that's required to get there? And then turning it on and committing to it. It's kind of like your appointments, right? Building this business is the same thing. It's just a different activity. You have to have leads to set appointments. You have to have people to talk to hire or recruit. You have to have phone time to set your appointments. Same thing. You have to have phone time to recruit. And then you have to close your sale. You have to get them started. It's that consistency of having it in your schedule makes it really important. Now, did you hear what the new deal is with FFL?
What's that?
The Zoom meeting. So what we're pushing is, because of the way we get paid, it's a big line of credit, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of bad people out there.
Sure.
That are, I didn't even know this was going on. They're like I could look you up online and try and find your birthday, and I could probably find it if I wanted to, and then I could get your MPN number. They're getting contracted through these carriers with somebody else's name, writing a bunch of fraudulent business, and it's falling off. So now Sean's like, we need to be doing Zoom interviews, Zoom recruiting interviews, because if you're trying to do something shady, you're not going to get on Zoom with me, right? You're not going to want me to see your face, and then we're going to record it,
right?
And we're going to say it's what we do. And I think that will cut it down. What does your recruiting look like? What, are you just talking to people you see? Are you running ads, calling resumes? How are you finding people to get attracted to FFL?
So I guess a mixture of a whole bunch of different things, social media, talking to people, just trying to stay plugged in to the network of people that's here. I mean, there's such a great network. If you have work spots and you can go to an office every day and you're just plugged in, you're naturally going to start building just by leading from the front. I mean, you asked like what I plan on doing. It's really just trying to lead from the front. I don't think there's anything special in building. I think it's just keeping the activity going, not taking the 3-day vacations every weekend and
Right.
things like that. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
no doubt.
You know, just trying to stay active and plugged into people, really, because if you stay plugged into people, it's amazing. You know how your network starts to grow.
It grows, yeah.
Then you talk to more people, and then all of a sudden people are starting to ask you questions.
That's
because
right.
They're like, well, what are you doing now?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure. And that's the thing, leading from the front, helping your 30 families a month, 40 families a month. And I think once you truly get your lead flow set, you'll do 40 in your sleep. Like you'll have to try not to do 40. Like, I'm not kidding you. And we say that, but it is really because it's just a system. Like it's a well-oiled machine when you have everything lined up right. And lead flow is the big part of that.
It really is. I mean, because without people to talk to, then you got nothing to go on.
That's right. So, production goal for the rest of the year?
Oh, I haven't really thought about that yet. I'm just kind of trying to grind
30, 40 grand a month?
Yeah. Just wherever it lands is where it lands. That's not as important to me as staying consistent and holding myself accountable. I think that the numbers will fall in line however they do.
Right.
If you put in the work.
That's right.
I didn't necessarily believe that when I first started because I would see some people that had massive success with like mortgage mailers, like you said, and they would be working like 10 hours a week.
Sure.
I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah.
So that was quite a misconception when I first started. But like now I understand that activity, everything else follows the amount of families help.
Yeah, no doubt. And those folks are few and far between.
They are.
It's a mixture of finding the right area and the right person. You put them in there, it's just like a perfect storm. So, all right, dude, we're excited to see what happens the rest of this year with you. You committed, you have an office,
Absolutely.
which is a big step. And that's the other, like, you committed to coming to the office.
Yes.
And I can't, like, if work spots is in your area, you're not going to an office, how bad do you think that is?
It's the worst thing that you can do to yourself.
Why?
Because you're not around people. Like you said it a couple of times, it's a lonely business. You start getting 3 or 4 people a day yelling at you in a row, and it can change your mindset. If it's 9 a.m., all of a sudden now, like, your mindset's screwed up the rest of your dial day.
Right.
You don't set appointments, and then all of a sudden your 6-day work week becomes 3-day work week because you wasted 2 days.
That's right. And misery loves company. So
Absolutely.
It's like, I'm not saying to be, but like if I'm in our call room, our dial room, if there's 7 people in there and everybody's getting hung up on, like, I don't feel as bad. And it's like, that's human nature, right? So being around that to me is big. The commitment of having the office is big, staffing, all that stuff that and you've ran businesses before.
Yes.
So you understand how business works. You're not afraid to spend money.
No.
Which is good. So, dude, I'm excited for you, Will. Will's high recruiting. Will's building. If you want to come work with somebody in the area, not in the area, that understands telesales, face-to-face sales, leads, the whole 9 yards, reach out to Will. He can help you get moving. If you have any questions, you're already with us. Reach out